Hello, everyone, and welcome to Indie Plus Game Night for June 2014. This is our show game. This is the game where we bring on a particular indie game designer or one of their posse, and they help run us through a game with all the Indie Plus crew. Not all of it, because we're huge, but I'm excited to bring on, he has a Patreon, which we will link in the show notes if you're watching it live. You can go there. If not, you can check it in the YouTube link. And it's Grant Howitt. How are you doing, Grant?
I am doing well. It is quite early here in sunny Australia, and I'm ready to rock.
Man, I love the background you've got there. It's some awesome-looking comics or something. It's very cool. Very cool.
That's the front cover of the latest game I released, actually.
Very cool. We also have Gerardo Testistro. I just blew it. No, I'm gonna. Gerardo.
I was gonna. You got it right the first time. That's good enough. Don't worry.
One of the bloggers for Indie Plus, and then we have the wonderful Chris Tregenza of 66. How are you, Chris?
I'm doing very good. Thank you very much, Rich.
And Chris is parading as Indie Plus, but it's really Chris. Next we have Mark Diaz-Truman of Magpie Games and various other and sundry things. And last but not least, we have Travis Scott, whose name is pronounced really different than Travis Scott, from what I'm told.
Sort of. I mean, there's a lot of lies, a lot of rumors going around.
Are you in character already? So we're going to be playing a game that you recently released as part of your Patreon campaign. Isn't that right, Grant?
That is entirely true. The game is called Havoc, Brigade, and you play. Well, we've got 4 orcs and a stack of 6 goblins on a dangerous mission in an imperial city. It's more dangerous for everyone around them. It's effectively like a pub crawl, but you kill people. About the best way I can describe it.
Fantastic. Now, before we get going, I am going to quickly say that this event upholds the Indie Plus community standards. To find out more about our standards, Google for Indie Plus community standards. Now, please be aware that this event may include explicit and or abusive language and hopefully a lot of violence because they're orcs. So I'm hoping for violence. If there's not violence, then I'm demanding a refund for this free game.
I'm just going to slap the laptop closed if you don't behead someone in the first 5 minutes. Just a fair warning.
Can you start the goblins with 7? Cool. Well, take it away.
What I'd like to do before we kick off, I've got a image file of a character sheet here, which will be useful to go through and explain what everyone's powers and how to play the game. However, I'm not really sure how to share things with the group. I've got a comment tracker here. If I put it in there, will that show the class?
No, but you can hit screen share, which is up in the top left corner under chat.
Screen share.
Yeah, it is a green monitor icon with an arrow.
Yeah. Yeah, you know what? I'm not sure that's working so good.
It's okay. I can also do it.
Yeah, you do that. That's probably better, actually. You do that rather than me faffing about. Have we got the sheet on screen?
There we go.
Yeah,
okay. I'll pull up Mark here. So we can see this is Wrench, the Copper Clone Inventor, here, played by Muck. The basic mechanic for Havoc Brigade is you roll some 6-sided dice, and I roll some 6-sided dice, and we see who got the most above 4. It's very straightforward. You'll always roll 1 dice, just because you're doing something because you're an orc. If you have a relevant skill, you get an extra dice, so we can see Wrench is good at shooting stuff, knowing about machines, and going fast. Skills don't degrade over time, but everything else does. He's got some equipment here as well. So he's got the electro-lodestone-powered railgun, a bag of heavy tools, a jar of unstable explosive fluid, that sort of thing. Every time you use one of these items, you can add a dice to your roll. However, every time you use it, you cross off one of the little circles at the end, and once the circles have gone, it's broken, or it's lost, or it's used up, or you're bored of it, whatever. It doesn't factor into the story anymore. Similarly, underneath that, you've got drives. Now, drives are what your character wants to do aside from complete the mission. You can see Wrench wants to go fast, and he wants to steal some awesome technology. Every time you use a drive, you add 2 dice to your roll. The scavenge things are for getting more equipment after each scene, because you will run out of equipment. Your wounds are pretty self-explanatory. Every time I give you a wound, you cross off one of those, and you can try to heal each other back up if you want to. There's a little bit that says that's dead good. If you think another Orc's plan is really, really dead good, you can tell them, and they can re-roll all their dice. It has to be another Orc's plan. It can't be a re-roll you trigger on your own, but it's a nice way of encouraging plans if you think they're pretty cool and someone fucks up a roll. The bit underneath that is the cunning plan. If at any point you think, oh, it would be great if this other character did this, then you can suggest a cunning plan, and if they take on, it doesn't have to actually be cunning, and generally they aren't. If they take on your advice for a cunning plan, then they add 2 dice to their roll. It's only once per game. And finally, there's Mayhem. And Mayhem lets you, basically, I'm going to be adding dice into a large pot every time you do something noisy or disruptive, which will be a lot. I'll then be using those dice against you to harm you as the city realizes where you are, and it brings up the proper crossbows, effectively. When you use Mayhem, I grab all those dice and roll them for you, and then it's reduced back down to the basic level for the area. So it's a way of it's a pressure release valve, basically. Now you do Mayhem once per game. Now we might as well get started because we're running a little bit late. So to give you a quick idea of the setting, this is a standard fantasy setting. There are Orcs. The Orcs have been pushed back and back over 200 years into a fantasy, into a single nation, and they're so worn down, they're so beaten by the Imperials and the Elves and the Dwarves and the Gnomes that they formed the New Orc Nation. And the New Orc Nation is a forward-thinking clan underneath Warlord Skull Smasher, who is he doesn't have a very forward-thinking name. But Warlord Skull Smasher, all hail Skull Smasher, is your boss, and he decides to send you, the Havoc Brigade, into the heart of the Imperial city of Freiburg. There's a little map of Freiburg as well, which I think we can, if someone can ping that in, we've got a link to it, which we'll be using.
I've got it.
But cool, yeah. If we can ping link out to the class, that'd be super. My apologies for the noise. It's boiling a kettle. It'll be over soon. Now, you're all. Is this Freiburg? Welcome to Freiburg. There we are. You can see it's a lovely map drawn by my friend George Seed, and that's the place that you'll be kicking the doors in. Now, it is raining. The wind howls through the thin huts you've built in the New Orc Nation. And Warlord Skull Smasher, the second biggest orc in the world after the Orcs. Warlord Skull Smasher, enormous orc, dark green skin, almost black, and big ropey dreadlocks and metal armor, calls you into his hut. Warlord Skull Smasher says, "Come in, boys, sit down, gather around the campfire. Now listen to me, boys. I've got a mission for you, and it's gonna blow your fucking socks off. Get in here." And he unrolls a map that he's stolen from the Imperial Cartographer's workshop on the table. Now, as you all filter in, can we get a description of who you are, please? Let's go for Wrench first.
Yeah. So Wrench is an outcast among outcasts. The Copper Clan is the Orc engineers, and he's too crazy even for them. So he wanders into this tent, and he's fiddling with this little device, kind of listening to it. And then you see this little puff of smoke as it explodes in his hands, and like he looks up at you to see if anybody is upset that he's already blown something up, and then goes back to like messing with it again to see if he can get it to work.
All right, next up, squeezing through the door of the hut comes the Orcs. Played by Rich, I believe.
The Orc! The Orc is huge! And beautiful! I am by far the largest of all the orcs and, of course, most attractive female in the entire encampment. Everyone loves me, and my sword, which has taken many years. My cunning plans are murder and destruction, but not in that order.
I really like the idea that because you're the biggest orc, you're the sexiest orc. It's a lovely fun. Oh, she's like an ass, say the other orcs as you walk past. She's like a small caravan. Alright. Coming in after the ox is the more diminutive, but perhaps slightly creepier Moontooth the Shaman.
I'm gonna walk in with my walker stick again. I know this is not gonna work. I've seen this. I'm the old man from the town. I've seen it all, and I've seen them go to war, and I've seen them come back, and I'm just tired of all these new ideas and this new stuff. And why don't we just go in and burn them up, or chop their heads off, or kick their nuts in? You know, do it the old way. The old way always worked. But now we got great plans, and what's this shit piece of paper you're putting on the table? It's not gonna work. You hear me now? It's not gonna work.
Alright, hold your horses, Moontooth, hold your horses. Listen, we brought you along because we needed traditionalists in the group. So I want to keep the old orc beliefs in line. But
No, you brought me along for my good advice that you never listened to.
Well, you do
I've
give a
always
lot of
told you
advice.
the same old story again. But here we go again, and you're going to convince me again. All right, well, here we go. Okay, I'll listen to you one more time, but this is the last time.
Well, thank you. Sneaking in after Moontooth is the goblins. There's a stack of 6 goblins.
Yeah, 6 goblins sneak in. They do have names. I mean, there's Stinky, there's Stab, there's Snot, there's Brain, there's Bang, and there's Goblet. Though these are completely irrelevant from your point of view because all goblins look the same to you, and we're completely disposable. So yeah, we're just a bunch of smelly goblins as far as you're concerned.
Quick question, Chris. Do you have a goblin voice?
No.
Okay, fine.
So we're going to be well-spoken goblins.
Well-spoken goblins from Goblin Finishing School. And coming up behind the goblins is an emissary from a faraway land, 100 High in Etin Mage.
So 100 High comes in and both of her heads, right, mounted on big broad shoulders, 7 foot tall, sweeping her way in with her star metal staff. And 100, who is the head on the left, says, "We are here to do some breaking of skulls." And High, who is the head on the right, says, "Yeah, man, we're going to break some skulls. It's going to be good. It's going to be really good." And they each have a bunch of mind shards orbiting their heads, and they occasionally, like, flip-flop, right, like a molecule bonded together. And she has a sack of spell components over her shoulder, and you're pretty sure that you hear something inside saying, "Help me! Help me! Oh, help me!" And then she's
found the halfling caravan, 100 High. Good. Alright, boys and actually women and goblins, come in, sit down. Right. Aside from the goblins, you watch from a respectful distance or I will behead you. Now,
I'd rather stand if you don't mind.
This boy's fine, do what you want. Set up a tree if you want, me too.
Then sit down.
This is a map of Freiburg, he says, and draws and brings out a map, which is, to some of you, especially Moontooth, a strange idea, because normally you just describe villages before you burn them, but this is a drawing of a village. This here is Freiburg. Now, right inside the palace, as you can see in the centre there, yeah, the great palace there, on the island in the middle. Yeah. Our enemy, the much-hated Prince Orstein, is hiding away in there. And in 2 days' time, they're having what the humans call a party. You know, when we get drunk, it's basically that, but they put on fancy dresses. Anyway, what I want you to do some pretty advanced tactics, boys and women and goblins. What I want you to do is get in there and steal him. Like, take him, don't kill him. I know this might be a bit of a leap for some, all of you. Yeah, alright, you can kill anyone else you feel the need to on the way inside. Take Allstein, bring him back here. We've got a bunch of orc magicians, I say magicians. We've got one orc magician with a spell book, but he's got some mind voodoo he's going to do on him, and he's going to extract the information on their armies. And he's going to, from his brain parts, we're going to learn what their tactics are, and then we'll be able to beat them in combat. Because as strong as we are, we've been getting more and more beaten up over the last 50 years, and I'm tired of eating rats, boys. You tired of eating rats?
Tired of rats.
The rats.
I like rats.
Rats are like our friends, man. We shouldn't eat them.
Precisely, yeah. Why not? Yeah. So, I'm more of what you call a broad brush manager. I'm not really into the fine minutiae of individual battle plans. So here, on the map of Freiburg, I want you boys and women and goblins to plan your assault. How do we go in? What's our route through the city? And how are you going to get out again? Moontooth, you seem like a pretty wise old sort. What's the best way to get inside, do you reckon?
You get your ass catapulted and nothing beats that. It's effective. It's quick. It's surprising. Gets the job done. And maybe you'll just land your ass on somebody and kill them while you're at it. So it's better that way. It's the
I'll be honest with you, Moontooth. Ever since we had to sell the catapults for rats, we've only got the one left. It's very heavy, and it's 2 days' walk. It might be our catapults inside the city, which you can certainly use. For the initial insertion, we might find it difficult.
Well, maybe we can just throw a goblin and grab him by the leg and throw him over the wall and make him to, raise that door thing, whatever they have in that big tower above the wall.
So we open the gates. Goblins, which gate do you think is the best? Can you read?
Oh, we're better to go through the
I'd have to cook him
gate.
first. I don't know the best if I don't cook him.
Oh,
Sorry?
well, best gate has got to be the smallest gate. Yeah.
Alright. Pick one.
Which is the smallest gate? We can sneak through that.
Oh, Sparrow Gate, I guess. Yeah, Sparrow Gate. That's pretty small. Well, actually, Glitter Gate is on the Gnomish Quarter, which has very small gates on account of all the gnomes.
Oh, well, I've got a wig, so we can disguise ourselves as gnomes and go in through that gate.
One giant gnome.
Gnomes are tricky little bastards. I wouldn't suggest going through the gnome corridor. They're nasty. I guess we should...
Don't you want to kill gnomes, our ancestral enemy, Moontooth?
Yeah, but not, land on them. It's better to, go with the more stupid, far-sighted or whatever, elves. I would say we go there first. Yeah. They're always too stuck up to worry about stuff like us.
You go through Gable Gate, eh?
Yeah.
100 Eye. Wise women of the ends. What do you think? Wise women of the ends?
I sort of have, 100 sort of has an important question that
Pray continue.
she's wondering if she can ask. 100, do you wanna take this? Yes, I want to take this. Tell me. I hear that you speak of dresses. I would like to wear a dress. If we raid the palace and we go to this ball, can I steal a dress and bring it back to wear for my own self?
Well, to be honest with you, you probably want to go through Aberdasher's Road down the Silver Side. I don't know what I know about dresses. Let's not ask too many questions, boys, women.
Your
goblins.
sartorial knowledge is excellent, Skull Smasher.
Hall's Gate.
If you cut through Aberdasher's Road, I'm sure there's many fine dresses you can disguise. You can all disguise yourselves as fine ladies and sneak into the palace.
This is a wonderful idea. I want a nice A-line. Yeah, nice A-line. Belted, maybe.
Wrench seems to finish something with his little device, and he holds it up in his hand. He says, I think we should go through Hole's Gate. Yes. See, this thing here will take us right through. Yes.
Okay. I'm not going to ask you any questions about what it is.
Good.
Is it another small part?
Little, very, very small parts. And don't look directly at it. It might cause
I'll try not
problems.
to look directly at anything. All right.
So, if we want to pursue the dress plan, which I think is quite cunning, then we shall first need to get through the gates, and I think this can help.
Very well. All's going it is, I think, boys. Orcs, you've been suspiciously quiet. Are you thinking about killing things again?
Yeah. Well, I figure we'll do whatever plan they want, and then when it all goes to hell, I'll just kill people.
Good. That's why you're on the team, Orcs. That and the fact that we used to be married.
That's the animal spirit, Ox. That's how I like to hear. Just brain skull bashing. Simple. Effective.
On the picture of the place,
Yeah.
what's the wavy line in the middle?
Wavy line. That's a river.
No, it's in a wavy, curvy worm. It splits out into little worms, and then there's the thing you pointed at with the star in the middle.
Yeah,
What is
that is a river, Orcs. You know when it rains?
I know what a river is.
Yeah. Alright.
Go, you sods, swim.
Yeah, so it's a river, yeah? So it's quite a way to get at, but it's quite boring to get in. Not many skulls to smash on the river. You know.
True.
So, Spyro's going to this. I'm getting tired, I'm going to bed. I want you back here in 5 days with Olstein, or I'll have you all killed. That make sense?
Yeah.
Fair enough.
That's pretty
Right.
cool.
He immediately falls asleep. I'm glad that's over because I can't sustain Skull Smasher's voice for much longer than I sing. So, so the plan is roughly, from what I can tell, break in through Hole's Gate, get some pretty dresses, improvise from there. Sound good? Great, yeah,
Yes.
I'm 100% behind this. Well done, everyone. So, it's about 2 days travel. It's cold and wet, and you don't mind so much because you're orcs or ettins and goblins. You're used to being abused as goblins anyway. Are you making any preparations before you leave camp, or are you just going out with what you've got?
What we got?
It's not going to get any better than
Sounds
this.
good to me. Alright, so the map. Okay, so you approach through the Applewood Forest to the south, and as you come through, you accidentally open FaceTime. Let's not do that. As you come through the Applewood Forest, and there's a garrison, the Woodblood garrison is to the south, which are full of delicious humans. The Forest Watch are a group that you've all fought with, aside from the goblins who only lived for about a week. You've all fought with the Forest Watch on many occasions before. They are underpaid, overworked, lazy drunkards who guard the forest as best they can. As you approach, you can see that there's the tower. The Woodblood Tower is the traditional watching post for them, and you can see there's a guy up there with a cigarette. It's raining and he's cold. He's got oil skin around him, and he's got a battered-looking crossbow. He's sort of vaguely peering out into the darkness. It looks like you've got the drop on him. So, how are you gonna sneak past? Are you gonna sneak past because everyone's dead, or are you gonna try to go stealthy?
I'm pretty sure that I'm going to be flinging deadly battle magics in his face.
I will sneak with my sword through his throat.
He's up quite high, so we're going to throw the sword. Let's resolve those battle magics first. So, the way this works, you roll a set number of dice. If you've got the dice roller, do it on the screen, that's great. I'll do my dice here.
Awesome. So I'm gonna use my cast an unpredictable battle magic and delve into
magic
my.
you got?
I mean, I think what happens is the two of them, 100 and high, begin chanting, right, one word after the other, one word from each head, and then they produce, let's say, I don't know, a bunch of like squashed up salamanders, and like fling them up towards the watchtower, and
So not flaming salamanders or elemental salamanders, just like small lizards you're throwing.
yeah, just small lizards, right?
Yeah.
And then they sort of burst into like a big ball of like amphibian slime, and like wrap the guy up and like suffocate him in like bottom of a creek goo.
Okay, cool. Roll some dice.
I'm gonna do it. So I think that's gonna be 3 dice. Actually, I'm gonna show everybody how awesome. I'm gonna show the orcs how awesome Ettins are and how useful we are with this magic. So that's gonna be a total of 5 dice.
Okay, that's good work. Okay, I'm rolling 2 because these guys are awful. So let's go for that. Yeah, I got no successes. So that's three successes on that. So the way that combat works in this, I have a morale score which represents the morale of the troops in the scene. It wouldn't really be possible for you to kill everyone in the city, but you can break their morale and send them scattering, and then you can press on. So yeah, the salamander lands. He's yawning. Oh, God, can this not get any worse? As just Pun Grunt suffocates him. He starts falls off the tower, landing in. Why did they have a bucket full of cymbals on the tower? Making a horrendously loud noise. The other guys come out of the structure at the bottom of the hut. And the cymbals! Oh God, it talks again! And grab their terrible axes. They don't rush towards you. They grab their axes and all try and stand behind each other, which doesn't go very well. Yeah, they're one of them realizes the warning bell is at the top of the tower, and they have to climb quite a long ladder to get there, and they're waiting, they're just running away. Oh, so you look ready to do something.
I think someone stop the bell. I'll get them with the sword.
All right, chop them up, Orcs. What do you do? Eviscerate someone messily with a sword?
Enormous sword. It's 5 dice. Of course, not a lot of you smart. Love this, or give me an attaboy, or dead good plan, whatever, for extra dice. But whatever, I'll just roll the 5.
5 dice. 1 dice for being an orc, 1 dice for hitting things, and where are the 3 dice coming from?
Well, it was all enormous sword. 5 dice and enormous sword.
Oh no, sorry. I should explain the enormous sword. That when you use a piece of equipment, you mark off one of the dots, and you can only mark off 1 per roll.
Sorry.
That's okay. I should have explained.
So hitting stuff, shouting, and being tough. What am I rolling?
So that's 1 dice plus 1 dice for hitting stuff. Plus, if you want to cross off a circle on your sword, that's 1 dice on your sword.
So 3.
3.
Oh, that's
And
good.
the 2 less than 5. The forest watchman sort of holds his axe out in front of him, like a parrying weapon, which it's definitely not. Oh, sweet. Okay, cool. That's 2 successes. For your 2 successes. So he manages, like, you cut through the axe and just cut through it, and he's left staring at handle. And sort of pokes you a little bit, and it does about as much damage as you expect it to do. Who's up next? Yes, one of the guards realizes that the leader of the guards, what's his name? Sergeant Pinewood, the leader of the guards, realizes that the only way they can hopefully not die is by climbing the tower. So he runs past you, scatters past you, Orcs, grabs onto the ladder and starts climbing up as fast as he can. Somebody better stop him.
I will stop him.
I think.
So you see Wrench,
Cool.
Wrench is setting up his railgun, which takes a little while to set up while this chaos has happened. He's got a little tripod, and he's like messing with some little thing. It's this enormous gun. You don't really remember him carrying it. Like it must have like come out of his bag and been assembled. And he's sort of watching him climb, and he says, "Clear!" and pulls something on the railgun to launch this projectile at the guy.
Okay. Is it a noisy projectile?
Yes, clearly, obviously. Yeah. So
What it hits.
I'm going to use, let's say I have shooting stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
And my electro lodestone powered railgun.
Very cool.
And I think I'm also going to mark, but I'll just do those two. So that's 3, right?
Yeah.
I have 1.
Okay, cool. I rolled 1 as well. The shot, incredibly powerful shot, passes clear through the side of the side of the watchtower, out the other side of the watchtower, and sails off into the city. And there's a cat. Yeah, a cat gets really messily killed about half a mile away. It's just a red smear. It's like. I like to imagine, actually, it was a child's 5th birthday present. Oh, Daddy, you seriously bought me a cat? Yes, I've had to scrimp and save for many days now, but we've bought you a cat, little one, perhaps now.
Can I try shooting him?
Damage to guards. Yeah, go for him.
Sorry, what?
I think Moonty's going to shoot at him, right?
I'm gonna try shooting him with my bow.
Go for it.
Right.
Be close to the barrel.
I have hunting, and I was I want move over. I'm gonna show you how it was done back in the day, you know. And so take out my bow, and that would be the equipment and the hunting bow. I have the skill for hunting, and I encourage the always. So that would be 3.
Drives give you 2 dice.
How was that? 2 plus the base 1, or just 2?
So that's
Because I have hunting skill.
5 dice. There's 1 dice for doing something, 1 dice for your skill, 1 dice for using a piece of equipment, and 2 dice for your drive.
All right, so that's 4.
Yeah, we've lost video on you.
I'm getting a lot of. It's getting choppy, so I'm cut it off so I can speak more clearly.
Okay.
I'll put it back up. So I got a 4. What's the video? There should be the 4, 2, and 6.
4, 2, and 6. Okay. Which 4, 2, and 6. Yeah, your arrow hits home. Fine was just about to ring the bell. Your arrow spears through his arm into the side of the structure. And he passes out for the pain. The rest of the guards around there look at each other, realize it's a terrible idea, and just run. They run as fast as they can away into the woods. And there's one thing that the forest watch are good at doing: is hiding behind a tree. So they just disappear. You reckon that probably they're going to move somewhere else now, rather than have to go back and face anything. Their leader's dead, the bell is silenced, and you can progress on towards the city.
Before we progress...
If we're interested... Sorry?
So before we progress up the city, I noticed my goblins have a scavenge ability. I assume that means I can sort of go and scavenge useful bits of equipment.
Yeah, you can do it during the the way that goblins work, basically, you can, because you got the scavenge skill. If you want to steal something in combat and use it, that makes you more effective at doing that. The way you acquire permanent equipment, I roll a dice at the end of each scene, and the number I get, we hand out that many pieces of equipment.
Okay.
So, at the end of the scene, but if you one useful piece of equipment, seeing the goblins didn't get to act because it's all over quite quickly, what do you want to steal from the goblins?
Oh well, there's only one thing I'd want to steal from this. I mean, and Brains is going to scuttle up the tower and take the bell because that's clearly the most useful thing here.
Yeah, it summons help, right? Yeah.
I just need to make my comment that I told you it was a good omen.
Okay, so the goblins have a bell. Write that down on your sheet. You have a bell you can use for one dice at some point. I look forward to seeing what that does. So you approach up towards Hall's Gate. You cross. There's a little bridge up the river as you come out the Applewood Forest, and then come to Hall's Gate, the outside of town. The south side of the city is not as well defended as the north side of the city. There's a lot of military districts in the top, and dwarves can never let anyone take anything. But Hall's Gate is one of the less well-defended positions. It comes out onto Sillside, which is one of the posher districts. It's quite nice around there. Walls are about 2 stories high, as you can see, as you approach through the scrubland. They're large, imposing grey granite wall with crenellations, and the constables of the city are trolling along the top, and there are some big wooden gates in front, which a couple of constables are standing out in front with their spears, looking pretty bored. All told, but things are going to get a bit more lively for them, I imagine. Yeah, what the pretty dresses lie beyond the gate. I think seeing as the goblins were at the last scene, let's hear what the goblins want to do to get past this difficult problem.
Oh right, the goblins. Well, we're going to go with Plan A, which is disguise.
Right.
We've got. Yeah, we've got hiding and as a skill and a large coat.
Right, good.
So our plan will be to sneak up through the gates, and working on the basis that our rest of our orcs definitely won't be able to sneak up, is to like open the side gate and let them through, or just generally facilitate their entrance.
I like it. Okay, roll me some dice for that, please.
Okay, so I'm using one. I get 1 for my hiding skill, 1 for my large coat. Is that right?
That's correct, yeah, and 1 for just doing something. So that's 3.
Okay, and I've got a drive to help the orcs with their mission, and getting into the city seems to fit with that. So I'm going to burn a drive as well. So that'll be 4 dice, won't it?
Yeah, it's an extra 2 dice drive. That's 5 dice. Sorry, 5 dice.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and here we go. I've got a 5, a 2, a 4, a 1, and a 2.
Pretty good. Okay, so we're going. Okay, got a pair of 6s. Guys, sitting there. All right. Who are you? What's your business, stranger?
Brain will clearly do the talking. He's sort of a piled up, classic, children in a big overcoat style way, and so there's like one goblin head sticking out the top of this big coat. And he's sort of, well, I've come to buy some dresses, haven't I?
Yeah, I suppose you're in the right part. It's a bit late for dresses, isn't it? Are you going to the party? Are you in the palace?
Oh yes, definitely going to the party. Definitely going to the party. Yes. Definitely not going to cause trouble. No way are we going to cause any trouble.
Don't listen. Don't take it the wrong way, madam. But is your abdomen talking?
There's a sort of rummage, a sort of a couple of punches going underneath the overcoat, and there's a sort of ow, from somewhere near the bottom. No, just my stomach grumbling.
Right. Well. Yeah. All right. Go fine. I don't let me catch you causing any trouble. All right.
No, definitely no trouble. None whatsoever.
Your wig fell off, madam. You want to put that back on there. So yeah, the goblins. Yeah, these are terrible guards. The goblins managed to get inside the city. You find that there's a side door. Yeah, there's a kind of a less well defended part of the wall where you can probably throw a ladder over. Yeah, you can throw a ladder over and the orcs can get up. As the orcs, are you indeed going over the wall? Is that a plan?
Good for me.
Cool. Okay. The orcs and Nixon go orcs and 100 high, slightly breaking the ladder, like almost entirely as they get up. So it's just splinters by the time they hit the top of the wall. One of the guards on top of the wall turns around and starts to come over and investigate. Hang on a sec. Isn't that 6 rather large armoured orcs? Comes poking his head. He's got a lantern and he's shining it forward. I can't quite make out in all this driving rain. Somebody stop him, otherwise, that's gonna go. It's gonna go pretty badly.
Well, if I'm at the top, I'll stop him stopping us. With my sword in his throat.
Yeah, good. Okay. Go for it.
Cunning plan.
You have a cunning plan? Well, this is a cunning plan. Okay.
I think this is a cunning plan. Are you gonna throw the sword or just stab him with it?
If you want to give me instruction on throwing,
I'll offer a little help here for the cunning plan to tell him to aim for the throat and make sort of like throwing motion.
So I need to know. It's a cunning plan. It's 2 dice.
A lot more discussion as the guard's walking up. Go around the throat. The throat. Yeah, definitely. Is that? It looks like someone's aiming a sword. I'm not sure. Yeah, roll the dice.
So clear. I'll get 2 extra dice for a cunning plan. Right.
Okay. So that's some dice. You add two dice for the cunning plan.
I have lots of
3.
dice.
Wow. Ox, I'm sorry to tell you, I rolled 3 successes. The sword scatters past the guard who shouts, "Orcs! Orcs!" and loses the crossbow bolt at you. It hits you in the chest, which is basically like nothing to you, but yeah, gets you in the chest. So cross up one of your wound levels, you are now bashed.
I'm more unrumpled. I'm bumped.
Oh, sorry. This is the first one, whatever that one is. What's the first one? Bumped. You've been bumped by a crossbow bolt, which has lodged itself in your flesh.
Red Shell's a stupid plan! Now I don't have my sword!
I told you not to throw it. I said not throw it. Not throw it. I was very clear about the throwing.
I have plate mail on my ears!
Okay, close your ears. Don't look at it.
Yes, I'm throwing swords while I reload.
Alright, I'm gonna take the little device I have. I'm gonna climb up Ox, and I'm gonna throw the device at them since we didn't use it on the gate, right? And I'm moving as fast as I can, and I'm getting up there and throwing this, all the while fighting with Ox about whether I said not or throw.
Okay. Does the device load?
Yeah, right. So I have knowing about machines, and I have I'm gonna use my jar of unstable explosive fluid, which is one of the key components of this device. And I'm gonna use one of my drives to go fast. That gives me 1, 2, 3, 5 dice.
Okay.
Don't drop it on me.
Close your ears.
I don't have enough hands to close my ears.
two successes.
The mic flying in your ears. Oh, that's terrible. I got one success. What did you get? One, two successes. Okay, yeah. Boom! An enormous explosion. Well, you described the explosion, huh?
Yeah, no, I think it's probably funnier if it's like wacky, right? So like there's this like explosion of like frost, right? As like everything at the top freezes solid, right? And then there's this like sort of like moment of silence as this sort of snow starts to fall, and then everything that's frozen explodes, right? So like all the guards, all the top, like it just goes off like fireworks, right? And like there's little bits of guard raining down. I told you to close your ears.
I knew we should have thrown the goblins over the wall. There's too much. Oh.
That was pretty. I'm getting my sword.
Where are we at? The whole gate explodes in a beautiful snowstorm. It's really not the sort of thing you should do on this warm summer evening. You're not trying to attract attention, but yeah, it goes off. It's like a winter wonder, except everyone's dead with the snow coming down. You can hear shouts from along the walls. This isn't a safe space to be. More guards are rushing to come up and take you on. You can see a group of about 5 guards. They're braver than the Forest Watch, these guys. About 5 of them gripping spears, really pumped up, running towards you along the wall. Ah! They say.
So they're charging
goblins at them.
I used my Thunder Bear cloak to scare them away.
Okay.
Right? So I'm going to show you how it was done in the old days. And my Thunder Bear cloak makes me like an illusion of a huge black bear from the forest, and I just charge at him. Like, I don't know. And how does that count? That's the it's not healing magic. Oh, it's being spooky. That's a skill. And the Thunderbird cloak equipment and the drive, right?
The drive is the old wave. Yeah, at that point you've used up that drive.
How's that?
You can only each drive twice.
To encourage the old wave.
Have you been
I used it once. I can use it twice, right?
Yeah, you can use it twice, yeah. Just
right.
make that clear. Okay, cool. Then you become the terrifying Thunderbird, the orc ancestral enemy. In fact, all orcs, all races are orc ancestral enemies, but especially the Thunderbears because they're fucking terrifying. And your shoulders flare with thunder and bear.
I just like fake lightning and my bloodshot red eyes and my humongous roaring teeth scares the shit out of them. So that's like 5 dice, right? As one for the skill?
1 for the skill, 1 for the item, 2 for the drive, and 1 for doing something. That's 5 dice.
Correct, yeah. So that's 3 successes.
3 successes, cool. Okay. You marked off one. You marked off 1 hit, 1 morale point. I got 2 successes myself. The guards. Yeah, you know what? They're not paid enough for this. No, they're paid to stop people coming into the city. Well, apparently, that guy wasn't paid to stop people coming into the city because he let the goblins in. That's clearly goblins. This is a business floating ice bear, and they're not down with this. They rather than try to get into, they just observe. Yeah, it's just okay. Let's see how this plays out. I'm interested to see how this plays out. You stay here. I'm gonna go away. I'm gonna go home and see my wife. Yeah, okay. And one of them is there at the end, holding all the spears. Quite worried. Yeah, who's up next? We've had, I think it's just 100 high, and then we're back to the top.
So, 100 high brandishes her star metal staff and one of the mind shard crystals that's orbiting her head, it now becomes clear to you is actually not a crystal at all, but is a zit that has been harvested from the face of an adolescent hill giant, and she commands it to zoom forward, and it explodes in a cone of pus, and will coat and the remaining guards and the ground that they're walking on. So.
All right. Yeah, fine.
Cone of pus. It's a standard spell.
The guard. Common guard spell.
Level 2 spell. Level 2 spell.
Level 2. Yeah.
All Ettins have it at level 2.
Right. You are covered in pus. It is really gross.
It is gross. That's enough to break morale of the guards in this scene. Yeah, there's. Why are you doing such a thing? And he's so confused and disgusted by the pus. He doesn't know this when presumably one of the other orcs just eviscerates him completely. Drops the spears, and clatters to the ground. All around you can hear the noise of the city as the Havoc Brigade approach. They know you're here now. Just so you know, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 9 dice in my how much noise the orcs making pool. So if at any point anyone wants to kick off their mayhem, you've got something big to work with. However, let's have a scene, shall we? There are 2 items of value in that scene. Who wants one?
I just want to take a second to say, that was really gross.
Yeah, 100. That actually was really gross. Whatever! It was totally metal!
So yeah, Wrench is like digging through the pus and like looking through all the gear and like shaking stuff and then smelling it and like licking it.
Smells like pus.
Right, like
Tastes like
grabbing
pus.
something else. Right, yeah, exactly. Looking through the various objects.
Okay. You can find what's useful here. There's a telescope. One of the guards has an extendable telescope, which he seems to have got from now, just slightly small, which he uses to, in effect, really look out at the city. Sound good?
Yeah, that sounds great.
Cool. You get a telescope, which you can weld to something. And what else we got? Does anyone else want something?
I'll look. I'll get and have it. No problem.
No, go ahead. Go ahead. Take it.
I get my walking stick and I discreetly sift through the pus, kind of see what's going on. Oh.
You reckon it's mainly pus here? Like it's just all 100% pus, but with that you could definitely poison your arrows, as the old orcs used to do with the pus of their enemies. I was really more shooting pussy enemies. It's just details. Probably have a jar of pus. Like, I'll say jar. Pocket full of pus. Probably not pockets, but a handful of pus. You can have on this, yeah.
That's a pus fable, just move on.
There's nothing.
Okay, so pus in hand, you run on, and get into the over here, right into Haberdasher Row. Now, in Silverside is it's beautiful. You understand beautiful buildings because you're orcs. Maybe the Ettins can. Imagine the Ettins all live in enormous floating ivory castles. They've just sent out the stupid one who knows all the pus magic. But this is very nice. Tall buildings, wide cobbled streets. Very few things are on fire currently. Nice. And all down the main streets, Haberdasher Row. You can see that there are. The first thing you see are the guard barricades they've put up because the fucking orcs are here. But the second thing you see are beautiful dresses all the way along the window. Beautiful suits and dresses. And you reckon that maybe, like, 100 times, if you got 3 or 4, you might be able to cover your enormous body. But those guards are in the way. Those guards are very much keen to not let you have those dresses. The guards don't know you're here for the dresses. That's a ridiculous plan. The guards are just trying to not tell you. But here we are. They are they're the elite guard who guard the slightly posher people in the Silverside district. So as opposed to battered leather armor, they've got shiny breastplates. They've got nice crossbows that work, and they have clubs rather than spears. They're like plumes on their helmets, and they're very kind of like almost a conquisted looking thing. They've got puffy sleeves, puffy trousers, puffy everything, big metal helmets. As you approach and see the beautiful lights of Silverside shining on Haberdashery Row, a volley of crossbow bolts flies off and embed themselves in the walls around you. Reload! Says the chief of the guards, a fat-looking man, big fat man, big fat breastplates. First rank, reload. Second rank, take aim. This will stand, boys and girls. There's between you and this beautiful dress.
We want the dresses. So if I want to use my my mayhem ability for the destructive invention, is it cool if it's just like I just like pull? Is it like sort of pulling all these things in and then they go off? Like if I want to modify my railgun with the telescope.
I'll carry on, yeah.
I was saying you could, if I wanted to modify my gun with the telescope. Sorry, I'm getting a little lag. I was saying, could I modify my railgun and mount it as the rapid invention? Is that how it works?
God, yes. Yeah. Do that. So, just describe what you do.
Does mayhem affect the whole party? Sorry to interrupt. Does it affect the whole party, or only the one who's calling it in? Just
the one who's calling mayhem. Basically, I'll roll 10 dice for him. Actually, add 10 dice to your roll.
Alright, so I sort of wave you all on to yeah, whatever, go to battle. And then I plop down the railgun and I look through the telescope and I put the telescope on top of the railgun and adjust it kind of gently. And then pull on my welding helmet to weld it on there. So if somebody would like to take an action before me,
I'd like to imagine
awesome.
Crossbow arrows as well, so they're just crossbow bolts landing and even spanging off the welding helmet.
Right, yeah, and I'm grabbing crossbow bolts too and putting them in the railgun, right, as if I'm filling the railgun with crossbow bolts. So, and then should it go off now, or is it more fun to have somebody else go first?
Can I use my Nash Hound?
So it's 9 dice you're adding.
Okay, I'll just roll it. So let's see. So I'm gonna do.
Guys, do the best.
Knowing about machines, I'm gonna do my railgun. I'm gonna do my. Can I use more than one equipment in a roll?
Yes, you can.
Okay. Welding mask and welding torch, and the telescope. So I'm gonna roll 15 dice.
I rolled 3.
So, 2, 3. Sadly, that is 4 successes.
That's terrible. Okay, can you put the 4 successes? Yeah. Well, okay. Yeah. Maybe it wasn't the best idea to try and catch crossbow bolts and fire them back at the guys who are shooting you. But there's definitely an explosion. That happened. The crossbow bolts fly off and mash up the front row of guards. You knock some of them over with the sheer force, but because the way you loaded them into the railgun, it's not the points that are hitting them, it's kind of the sides of them or the feathers. They pull themselves to their feet, quite shell-shocked. as the rest of you take up defensive. The rest of you dash for cover, or in the Orcs' case, I presume, run directly forwards into the crossbow line. Orcs, what are you doing?
I'm running into a crossbow line, but I'm throwing the goblins ahead of me. They need to.
Okay.
Hurry up, appetizers!
Alright, goblins, you do this first. Yeah, you are held by a giant orc.
Okay, yeah.
Crossbow
Orc
line.
grabs hold of Bang and throws him at the barricade of crossbow bolts. Unfortunately, Bang only has a trick up his sleeve, which is the suspicious quantity of dynamite he's holding. I'm not sure whether suspicious means a very large amount or a very small amount. But basically, Bang.
Small barrel full of dynamite, which I wish.
So Bang will basically, as he gets thrown at the barricade, he sets off his dynamite, suspicious quantity of dynamite. I'm trying to think if there's anything else he could do. No, he's going to be remarkably shit at this because he hasn't got any skills really either.
You can use as many pieces of equipment as you want. So if you want to, tie something to the dynamite, knock yourself out.
Oh yes, hang on. I've got a trained hedgehog. So I'm going to, it's a hedgehog on some dynamite, which is clearly going to fire all the spikes everywhere, causing a massive fragmentation field.
Poor order. I think it's just part of a plan as well. It was my plan to insert you into front line, if you think about it. So you're following the plan.
Oh, it's a cunning plan.
Okay, a cunning plan. So your cunning plan was thrown by me. Is that correct?
Sorry, you broke up a little bit there.
Okay, great. Oh, he's gone.
Hello, can you hear me?
Well, we'll crack on. He threw you into the.
Can anyone hear me?
I can hear you.
I can hear you.
I can hear you, Chris.
Okay, yep. So dynamite and hedgehog. Is that going to be 2 pieces of equipment plus 1 for doing stuff, and 2 for a cunning plan? Is that right?
Right. So
that's 5 dice and 2 successes.
Okay. Well, I got no successes. So that's 2 successes, you said? Yeah. Your hedgehog bomb goes off. Better than you'd planned, actually. Well, I say planned. You did it in midair. But yeah, your hedgehog bomb detonates. There's a lot of hedgehog everywhere, and seeing as hedgehogs are naturally spiny, that's quite useful. Embedded in the faces of guards. The front line is in disarray, and the big fat captain guy is scrabbling around to basically get you off him, because you land on him. He's not happy about this at all. Moontooth. Let's show them how it's done out.
So there's one guy standing up.
Yeah, there's the big captain guy currently slightly covered in goblins.
All right. So I'm gonna use my magic, wild forest magic mushrooms and feed them to my pet Nash Hound and tell him off with his balls and make him feel like it's a chicken and just, do something real painful.
Off with his balls. It's very kingly. I like it. Okay, yeah, go for it.
All right.
That's horrendous.
It is. So it's just the skill, the pet Nash Hound, and the mushroom. Each one adds 1 die, right? For equipment.
That's. We've got still hunting to me. That's 4 dice overall.
4 dice, right? Make it be good. Oh, no successes.
Oh snap! I bad news for you, friend. I rolled 4 successes. Yeah, so no successes versus 4 successes. You feed the mushrooms to your Nash Hound, and it starts tripping balls. And you don't, as an orc, you don't have balls, but it doesn't know that. It's just a dog. So it grabs onto the center of your crotch, thrashing you back and forth across the street.
Stupid
Or
shit.
take 4 wounds.
4 wounds. So,
Well, yeah, you don't have genitals, so it doesn't hurt as much. It still really hurts.
okay, so that would mark it off as 4 wounds
Yeah.
would be the 4 takes on it. So I'll be dying, or what's that? No, mashed up, mangled, right? You're breaking up there a bit.
I think they so. Oh, sorry. So people who haven't we've got the Ox and 100 High. So what's to go?
I have something for this. So 100 High reaches to her padded robes, which are padded in that most luxurious of substances, dog hair, and she begins to pull some of the dog hair free, and the two heads chanting words with one another, and she blows the dog hair towards the captain, and I'm going to cast a collie morph, which will hopefully turn the captain into a collie. So that's my cast an unpredictable battle magic, my padded robes, and I think that's actually it. I think I can probably throw my star metal staff in there as well.
Have we lost
Cool.
Grant?
Are we still there?
Grant, we're not getting anything from you.
We disconnect and reconnect.
Might be good to drop out and drop back in. Come back in.
Okay, I'll. I bet.
Okay, I think we're demonstrating that spanning about 19 time zones doing a hangout does cause problems.
It's a long way for the data to go in the tubes. Maybe we should just take a 5-minute bio break for everybody and give everybody a chance to get away from the computer for a minute.
Yep.
Cool.
Okay, no more than 5 minutes. Rich, I don't know if you caught that. Grant stopping in and out, and we're just taking a 5-minute break while he gets himself sorted out.
Right.
Hello, Grant.
Okay, that's what. Can I get a roll make sure we're here, please. First off, Orcs, say hello.
Hello, I'm here.
Okay. And I get. Am I right in saying that Gerardo's house is flooding? I heard.
Oh,
Okay,
wow.
he's well.
Yeah, that's what his note says.
Okay, well, we'll crack on without Gerardo.
Yeah.
Mark's just dropped off, and Travis just quickly for a couple of minutes because we're just expecting you to take a little while to get back on.
Okay, that's fine. Well then, we'll just hang out for a bit. That's fine.
I like some of the things you said at the end about your inspirations for the game. What's the name that you prefer for this game? I love this. The working title for Havoc Brigade?
Orc hijinks, yes. It was called that for a very long time because it's that. And I thought it was it conveys everything you need to know in it. But I figured it wouldn't look so good on the front of a semi-serious game, so I went for Havoc Brigade. It was called Havoc Patrol, but you weren't on patrol, so it didn't really make any sense. But I think Orc Hijinks yes is a much better name. Also, sorry, my wife has reminded me it was also originally called Black Orc Down, but that would there are no Black Orcs in it. But you had to rescue a Black Orc. It was pun based, and that would have it was good. She's good at names.
I do like that name. I could see it sort of sets a standard. If you have a pun title, it sort of sets expectations.
As you can see, guys, it's a very serious game. So it's like I don't want people to get the wrong idea. This is an introspective game about feelings. What would it feel to... That's fine. Yeah, not that you have genitals. So, it seems to be going okay. We've really got some pretty dresses, which is exciting. I'm really looking forward to that. I really hope you roll low, so you only have to share one pretty dress. That'd be great. We'll work out when we get there.
All right, I think 100 High is back.
I'm back. I've returned. So, I don't know how much of that came through, but I used my star metal staff and the padding from within my robes, which is of course dog hair because it is so soft. And I was casting Collymorph on the guard captain to turn him into a collie.
Yeah, that sounds good. Unfortunately, I rolled more success. So just into a collie. Just the head. Just the head. Everything else is a normal human. He has covered it. I don't know what wolf. I guess he barks. He's a collie, not a wolf. And really scares the shit out of the goblins when you do it. But from the one of the guards sees you casting and bravely rushes up and smacks you in the knee with the butt of his crossbow for a single point of damage. Just.
Dude, that is not cool. Come on. Come on. Can we all just be at peace and be one together? Says hi.
All right, and last to act is the Orcs.
When they're all dead, we'll be peaceful. Well, I'm going to be running forward into a crossbow bolts, so I'm being tough. And I'm shouting it. And, I think I'll eventually probably likely be hitting stuff with my enormous sword. So, I'll be full.
Go for it.
That's 2.
I just got the 1 myself, so yeah, you hit stuff with your enormous sword. It's mainly that terrifying dog man covered in goblins. You're cutting him up good and he doesn't know what's going on at all. It's the worst day he's ever had. He's a silly guard. So that's everyone's acted this round. I put my dice back in. As an update, we have 6 dice in the Havoc pool, in the Mayhem pool. The guard bells are ringing. There's dang, 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 and you can see there's a tearing down the street is the elite response team and the guards. These guys are in they're in a carriage pulled by 4 horses. Some of them are hanging off the side. They're not firing the crossbows. They've got big, thick armor on, almost like riot police, big shields, and the carriage is screaming down the cobbles towards you. Who's up first?
I think I am. I'm already run up here. So, I think my drive is here. I think we're just hitting things. That's what I'm good at. So, I'll use my drive. But this time, I've got links of chain. I'll wrap them around my fists, and then just gonna punch them in the carriage. Punch in the carriage.
The carriage. You're gonna punch the horses to the ground?
Yes.
Or just gonna punch the side of the carriage?
I think horses is a better idea. I start for a carriage, but they got in my way.
Yeah, perfect. Okay, cool. Yeah, you punch out a horse. Let's go for it.
Hitting stuff. Shouting.
It looks great. You know, like no matter what happens, it looks fucking brilliant. The surviving guards are sort of kind of trying to shoot crossbows at you, but you're basically a wall. So a lot of the bolts are rebounding off you. But let's get some dice.
All right.
Yeah, not. Yeah.
Hitting, shouting, chain, drive.
You're using 1 skill per action. You can use your armor if you want to defend against the bolts.
I can. Okay. There we go. No one thinks it's dead good to hit a horse.
I think it's dead good.
I love you.
Oh, I think it's dead good. I love you too, man. Let's hug it out after this, okay?
There we go, 3.
3 successes. That's more like it. Perfect. Okay. Well, I rolled none, so you punch that horse the fuck out. You ball your chain around the. You ball your chain around the fist and just smack it to the ground. And there's a second where the back of the carriage just hangs in midair for a second, and everyone realizes what's going on. It crashes down. A couple of the wheels come off, and the guards stagger out. They form up a shield wall, but their heart's not really in it. And you can see them sort of forming a shield wall and going backwards because this guy just punched out a horse. If anyone wants to heal, actually no. Geraldo is currently being torn apart by a wolf, and his house is flooded. So we'll come back to him in a sec. Let's see. We've got either anyone aside from the Orcs can act?
I got it.
Okay.
So I 100 High takes the Star Metal Staff and shoves the butt of it down 100's throat, and 100 starts to retch, and then High grabs one of the mind shard crystals and hurls it at the guards, and it breaks apart into 1,000 vomitous colors. And so I'm going to be casting emetic spray, and it will cause them to vomit inside of their helmets and begin to drown.
Beforehand, or is this just something you can do?
I mean, I'm an Etten.
Okay, cool. Yeah, roll me some dice. That's perfect. We don't need a lot to finish this scene. The guards are not. No, the guards are not keen to stick around.
Cool. So I'm just gonna roll. I'm gonna roll 3. Actually, how does that work? Okay, I think that's just 1. Actually, sorry, I forgot to clear it before. Well,
That is more than enough to finish them off. There is, the guards just fill their helmets with rainbow-colored sick. It's like they're dragons, but with sick instead of fire. It's terrifying for them and everyone around them. They throw off their helmets and stagger away. This beautiful rainbow colors staining their beards, and stagger off into the distance. They've been driven back. Retreat, they say, retreat! Leaving the delicious dress shops entirely unguarded. Let's see how many dresses we can get. 6 dresses. So you have spare dresses.
Yes. I want a little black dress.
Yeah, if you can all just briefly write down the kind of dress you take, that'd be great. It can be a suit if you'd like, but I kind of like the idea of orcs disguising themselves as high society ladies.
I think it needs to be dresses.
Yeah, there's going to be one left over. There's going to be one dress left over, so the goblins are going to snaffle 2.
I mean, you could maybe. There's also like an armored carriage you could take, I guess. There's 3 living horses. A man who's half dog. He's confused, so there's something you can do something with him. Any of the above, really. If anyone, actually, no. You know what? You've got an armored carriage. That's what you've got. One of you has an armored carriage. Wrench, take the armored carriage.
Very well.
Very well. I accept this burden.
I still get my dress.
Sorry?
I still get my dress, yeah?
Oh God, yeah. You're all wearing beautiful dresses. 100 high, you're wearing several beautiful dresses. Sort of just kind of over. It's kind of an off-the-shoulder number, which has to be because you have shoulders. They're about 4 feet wide.
Yes.
There's Ox. I imagine you just nailed something to your armor. Just like.
Yeah. Well, Wrench bolted it on. It's a
Bolted
chiffon plus size. I like it a lot.
Taffeta looks beautiful on you.
It's a really nice low-cut number that shows off your breastplate. It's a very popular style with orcs at the moment. And
I have the nipples like built into a breastplate. I saw
good.
once. It's good.
It's quite scandalous, really. Do orcs have nipples? Do they breastfeed? Anyway.
It's in the armor!
Okay, yeah, sorry, Ox, sorry, yeah. We've got about 20 minutes to wrap this up. So, can you somehow work out a way to get an armoured carriage into the palace?
I've got this.
You got this?
I've got this. Clearly, we're going to be stately guests and things like that. So everyone piles in the carriage, and I think Stinky Pete is going to be the coachman and will drive everybody in to the carriage, and in a sort of like hiding in plain sight sort of way, he's going to be ringing the bell as he goes, the bell he stole earlier, because no one's going to sneak in an armoured carriage ringing a bell. We can't be suspicious if we're doing that.
Well, no, that almost makes sense. I think I've been playing this game too long. Yeah, okay, yeah. Then roll me some dice. Yeah.
Okay, clearly we're creating a distraction.
Yeah.
I've got. Sorry, I didn't catch that.
You're distracting people directly towards yourselves. Good, I like it.
I've got the bell, which we were using. I'm going to put Stinky Pete is going to put on his stolen glasses because once you put a pair of glasses on, you never recognise anybody.
Definitely, yeah.
So that's 3, and the soiled wig for 4. So I can get 4 dice there.
Oh yeah, okay. That's a lovely plan. Roll me some dice.
Oh, 3 successes.
Nice. I'm probably going to go ahead and say that doesn't work as well as you'd hope because it's a terrible plan. It's a wonderful idea, but a terrible plan. So yeah, dun 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 dun. We're very important. Get out of the way! Scream the goblins. As you ricochet through the streets, and so stunned are the guards by the fact that there's this carriage and it's dragging a horse with a broken face, and there's a goblin on top ringing a bell, and there's clearly an Etten just with its legs out the back of it. It's such a shock that they don't immediately attack you. And you're in. You're inside the palace, inside the beautiful palace gardens, and you can see the wonderful front of the wonderful front of the palace as everyone around everyone turns to look at you because this is happening. All the fine ladies in their beautiful dresses, not as beautiful as yours, mind you, stole from a really good shop, it turns out. The gentlemen in their frock coats and they're drinking champagne from silver platters being handed around, and some guards in not full plate, but like gold embossed breastplate and shoulders, and they've got big swords, and they draw their swords. What's going on here? As the much hated Prince Holstein, big. He's a tubby guy. He's got kind of a white powdered face with a little heart BT mark on there. Comes down. Hey, what on earth is going on at my party? What on earth is going on at his party? Let's find out.
Let's see. So are there other guards around?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Do they have weapons and things out already?
Yes, they've got big greatswords.
Okay. So I think I will maybe I'll let somebody else go first. I need to think of my idea.
Just an aside, I reckon your railgun would probably attract metal.
Right. Well, okay. Yeah. So I'll I'll twist something in the railgun to try to suck all the weapons in the room at me, right? To hold them out.
Almost not the play yet. First, it's flying to your way.
Oh, you're back! Hey, you're back!
Yeah.
So we bundled you in the back of a carriage after that dog bit most of your lower body off. If anyone wants to give him a quick heal on their turn, or you can try and heal yourself, that'd be great.
I'll do that.
Wrench, roll me some dice, please.
Yeah, so I'm going to use knowing about machines, my railgun, bag of heavy tools, and to nick some awesome technology, and that'll give me 6 dice.
Okay.
Boom, much better. 4.
There's you realise you're sitting on a metal carriage, which is maybe the wrong place to do it. Your gun slams down into the carriage, and the guards are inexorably pulled forward with their metal breastplates. They start to unbutton them, and their breastplates fly off. And you realise maybe it wasn't the best idea to do this, because now about a dozen greatswords are flying towards you at quite high speed. I'd like you to take a wound, please.
Mission accomplished. I am bumped.
But you have all of the swords now, which is good.
My sword.
Sorry?
No, I finally tuned it for only human technology, all Orcan tech.
Well, I think mine's made of stone, so it works out.
Ox. Someone's going to get Holstein out of there. Is that you, or are you just going to focus on killing other people?
I think it would be much easier if I kill everyone.
Yes, there are lots of guards here. Like, you think even you, greatest warrior of the Iron Clan, might not be able to defeat all these guards in single combat.
I'll just yank a prince, throw him over my shoulder, and we'll run away.
Okay. The guards are understandably upset about this and loose arrows at you from various arrow slots, but let's see how well it goes for you. So that's... Armor, you can probably use for that as well.
Armor. Am I being tough?
Yeah.
Okay. I think I'm
If you
fighting a
want-
powerful enemy champion.
Not really, but do you want to use your Mayhem ability?
Hell yeah.
Fuck yeah. Yeah, add 5 dice to your roll. You become unbreakable, so the Ox's power is unbreakable, so how does the fact that you are almost impossible to kill helping you out here?
Oh, well. They're running up with non swords and hitting me while I'm grabbing a prince, and he's hitting me with his little limpy hands. Now I'm running.
Lace cut. Put me down, you horrid orc!
Right. Yeah, just run. I figure I can make it to the wall.
Okay, great. Let's roll me some dice, please. Add 5.
Okay. Right, so being tough. Plate meal, 3, and then add 5. That's more than 3. That's amazing.
What did you
That's
get?
a thing of beauty.
I can't see. We've got
That's
video.
5.
5! Better than my 2. Yeah, alright, you grab Holstein, the enemy attacks just bounce off you and you run back towards the gates. You are outside the you are at the palace gates now, as you are engaging in a fighting retreat. But it's not over yet. There's a few roadblocks set up, and those riot police with their rainbow sick beards, they're guarding the gate. They don't want to let you escape with Holstein. It looks like it's up to Moontooth or 100 High to sort this out.
All right. How much is what was that?
I'm gonna try scaring them again. It worked last time.
Do it.
Go for it.
All right. So for some extra punch, I'm gonna eat a bit of my own mushroom to get extra scary and super lightning boltish. You know, make the lightning bolts fly from candelabra to candelabra, and then maybe even hit their armor and give it a little chilling effect from the pulse of
Do you use
electricity.
your mayhem power?
Hell yeah, why not?
Yeah. Become the beast. How does that help?
Right. So I put my cloak over my head. No, 200 mushroom. You're gonna do it. See how we did the old days, boys. Again at him. So that's
Literally
equipment.
become a bear.
Become the bear.
What did you say, sorry?
I know I lost you. I was just gonna say it kind of broke up there.
You become 5 bears.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good. Okay, so we're on the same page here. 5 mind-linked, furious bears.
So a little bit of back. That's why it's giving me a little bit of time to get back to. So that's the mayhem gives me how many dice?
5 dice at the moment.
Plus whatever I have, right?
Yeah, so being spooky and your cloak and your mushrooms and 1 for just doing a thing.
So that's 9 dice. This
Right.
better count. Ooh, yeah! Look at that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 successes.
That's
That's like
that's
5.
more than enough.
Everybody! That's it.
All 5 bears engage in some synchronized destruction. It's terrifying. It's a very interesting experience for you because you're now 5 bears. You hope this reverts at some point. You tear apart the riot police, throwing them in the air, cracking their armor open, feasting on their delicious innards, leaving the path open for you to all pile into the carriage and just get the hell out of there as you scream out of the city. Because I think we've got less than 5 minutes remaining. Yeah. As you scream away, there's only one player not to act this round. 100 High, you got any more magic puns for us?
Do I? Of course I do. So what trauma? What dangerous thing are we facing?
5 bears.
5 bears? That's not
5 bears.
So
5 mindless bears.
So, I mean, if we need to subdue these 5 bears, then I'm ready. So 100 High reaches into her pack and pulls out the squirming thing that has been whispering, help me, the whole time. And you all realize that it is not a halfling, it is a gutter dwarf whose natural state is to be in feces. And she begins to shake it vigorously, achieving the same frequency as shit itself. And it begins to draw in a magnetic way all of the poo from all of Freiburg together into one massive ball,
Like
one thing that can contain all these 5 bears.
Okay, yeah. The effluence, the rotting shit beneath the city bubbles up in a horrendous wall around these bears, which are the shaman, but you're not sure whether he's changing back. You think he might want to stay as 5 bears? Maybe just let him tire himself out. The bears now penned in by a wall of liquid feces. Thanks for that, by the way. It's really classy. Stay classy, Adams. Penned in by a wall of liquid feces are off to one side of the gates, and you scream out of there. I assume Wrench and the goblins fighting for control of the carriage as you batter out down over the bridge, over the other bridge, crossbow bolts flying into you, bouncing off your armor, out through the gate, and back towards the Orc encampment. Well done, gentlemen.
And goblins.
And goblins, yeah, sorry, gentlemen and women and goblins.
And ladies and goblins.
This was awesome. I would play again.
Skull Smasher is very happy to see. Good, I'm glad. Glad you guys had fun. Now I think I have to leave now, so you can discuss it without me being there. Is that right?
I think we're gonna do that as a separate thing. To just to give it some context and things. But this was awesome. Thank you. It was very cool.
Yeah, it was lots of fun to run as well. You guys are great. If anyone's watching is interested in backing me on Patreon, I think there's a link to my Patreon. Havoc Brigade is available to download free as well from Patreon, and if you give me $10 or more as a backer, you get access to the extra characters like 100 High, and there's a few others, an Orc Drunken Brawler and things in there as well. But back me on Patreon, it would be nice of you if you feel like doing that. And if not, that's cool too. Just have a look at Havoc Brigade and give it a play. Thanks very much for letting me run. I've had fun. I'm going to go back to bed.
Yes. Thanks.
Thank you, Grant. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Grant.
It was awesome. Okay. Any closing bits? Chris, Mark, Travis, and Gerardo?
Well, the mayhem I seem to have backfired on me, and I had to step out a little bit due to some flooding. But I loved it. I really liked the game. What can I say? The closing part was cool. I think I like I can mix things up. And you were great, Ox. That helmet really made the event.
Thank you. Travis's gross puns were amazing. So I just wanted to say that before we end. That was great.
I have like 3 or 4 more too.
Can you just share them now?
We can keep it at that. We can figure them out. Thanks.
I need to hear them.
Well, there was Mucus Shield. And the related spell Cloud of Phlegm. And then, of course, Magic Pistol. So...
Oh, that was great. Body
Maybe another game.
Plus classic D&D spells for the win.
That's great.
It was a pleasure. Thanks for staying up super late with us, Chris. We really appreciate having you on. Your goblins were amazing.
No problem. Loved the game. It was fantastic.
Cool. And
I still think we should have sent the goblins in first over the wall.
I tried every time to throw them in, and people kept doing other stuff. So.
The new generation, there's just another way that was done back in the day.
Well, we are coming up at 8 o'clock Eastern, and that is the time we've marked for this in 1 hour for those who are watching live. If you're not watching live, then this makes no sense to you, but in 1 hour, we'll be doing a panel. I will be the moderator of the panel, and it is about how to GM an awesome first session. And we have some fantastic guests, Zach Smith, Trey Grisby, Kira Magran, Todd Nicholas, and Jeff Rance. So covering the span of a bunch of very experienced and excellent people and game masters. We'll be talking about that in just 1 hour. Thank you all for joining us for this Indie Plus game night and our little featured game. And you guys have an excellent evening.